Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to make a simple yet delicious soup, Italian wedding soup, which is a marriage of meat and vegetables. It's got mini meatballs, small pasta, and lots of veggies in a chicken broth. Simple to make and so hearty and so good. We start with making the meatballs. I have one package, which is a pound of grass-fed ground beef. You can use whatever cut of ground beef you have. And I have preheated my oven to 350. So we're going to get the meatballs all mixed up here. And then they go in the oven. And then while they're in the oven, we're going to start the broth. So to our meatballs, we're going to add 1/4 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs and 1/4 cup Parmesan cheese and 1/4 cup of milk. So really easy. 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of Parmesan, 1/4 cup of milk. All right. We're going to add 1 egg. Try not to get shells in there. Crack it into a separate bowl, because as hard as you try, sometimes those shells get in. A teaspoon of salt and some fresh ground pepper. Let me grab some parsley, which I forgot. We'll put a teaspoon of parsley, and this is garlic and parsley spice, which is really yummy, and we'll put about a teaspoon of that as well. Okay, and then we're going to get everything incorporated. Start with a spoon, mix as well as you can with a spoon, and then you're going to go ahead and get your hands in there and get everything very well mixed before you roll them and get them in the oven. This is one of the favorite soups that I make in the house, for sure. Kids all love it. Anything relating to meatballs, I think, is a big hit. So I'm getting my hands in here, nice and messy. Always, always, always wash your hands before cooking and before making meatballs that you're going to be putting your hands into. They feel on the wet side, which sometimes is just the way certain cuts of meat are. So it's going to be a little trickier to roll, but I'm going to roll them as best I can and nice and small, okay? Because they're going to go into soup and you want them to fit on a spoon, okay? So you want to coat that pan with olive oil and really shake it around so that they all get coated very well and don't stick. And then a light dusting of some Parmesan cheese, and then in the oven for 25 minutes. Okay, I've got the phone at a new angle here, so hopefully you can see in this pot pretty well, and hopefully my phone doesn't fall. I've got the chopped 3 carrots that I shredded, 2 stalks of celery, and then half of a pretty large onion that I've diced up. Okay, we're going to saute these veggies for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're nice and soft. They're nice and mixed with the olive oil. I put about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay. To that, we're going to crush in some garlic that I peeled. 2 cloves. And mix the garlic around. Okay, and we're just going to let that cook for a bit. Okay, the veggies have softened nicely. We cooked them about 4 minutes. Next goes chicken broth. Okay, I'm going to put this whole container in. We add the broth, the spices, and we bring it to a boil. So I'll turn my heat up towards high. Into the broth, we're going to put 2 teaspoons of salt because soup needs some yummy flavor. Several grinds of fresh pepper. Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. Teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of oregano, half a teaspoon of basil, teaspoon of dried parsley, mix it around. Smelling delicious. Looking good. So we're just going to let that come to a boil, and then we're going to put in 1 cup of small pasta of your choice. I like to use the ditalini, which looks like this. Okay, you can use elbows or another small one of your choice if that's what you have on hand. 1 cup of the dry pasta goes in once this boils. We're going to pour in our pasta, mix it around. Once it comes to a boil again, we're going to reduce it to a low boil and cook it about 5 minutes. And then we'll put the meatballs and the fresh spinach. Okay, so we can add the spinach before we put the meatballs. Normally, an 8-ounce bag of fresh spinach that's been pre-washed is perfect to put in. I have this huge 16-ounce container, so I'm going to put about half of the spinach leaves. Fresh spinach definitely tastes best in this recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And you want to definitely watch for any dark pieces. Sometimes with fresh greens, you know, you'll find dark ones or slimy ones, so try to weed through those. Okay, that should be enough spinach, and that's going to cook way down. So we're going to mix that in with the broth so it cooks down, and the meatballs are almost ready. We'll pull those out, and those will be the last thing to go in. And if you find that it's soaked up a lot of your liquid, then you just can add some more water or some more broth and taste test it and make sure it's salty enough. But isn't that looking beautiful? Nice colors, the orange carrots, the green spinach, meatballs going in. It's going to be delicious. Okay, I just pulled the meatballs out. They're done. They're sizzling nicely. Our broth is bubbling nicely. And one thing about soup that has pasta, you want to be careful not to overcook the pasta, because I don't think anyone is a real big fan of mushy, squishy pasta. So we're going to get these meatballs in. We're going to give it a minute or 2, and then we're going to take it right off the burner. So carefully scoop the hot meatballs into the broth. This wooden spoon is not the best. Let me find something better here. And this is such a great soup. It's a meal in itself, really. Serve it with some garlic bread or a side salad, and you've got dinner. And all my kids like it, so it passes the kid-friendly test, which is a bonus. Okay, meatballs in. Hopefully this is filming well and you can see how good it looks. I'm going to put about 3/4 cup of water, just to give it a little extra broth. And there it is.